Manny, what's up, dude?
What's up, my brother? How we doing? All right.
Here we are, the Creators Podcast, all in focus.
We are all in focus, folks.
We are. We're focused in here today on, well, we want to touch on what you mentioned last week. You left us on a little bit of a cliffhanger, right?
A little bit, yeah.
We're going to talk about storage options and
storage, hosting, what to do with these great images when you guys finally get this stuff going, right?
Take your stuff. You got to put it somewhere. You pick it up. You put it down.
Pick it
Where
up
you putting
and
it
put
down?
it down.
You dropping it, man.
There's a lot of places.
Where we dropping it? hopefully not on the floor and breaking the SD card. We don't want to do that.
Oh, man. Speaking of SD cards, how many of you guys out there, including myself, and I bet you have too.
What's that?
Have gone to an event, opened up that camera, or started shooting and realized that there's no SD card in there?
Oh, I like torture myself to put 2 SD cards in the camera now. And I'm like, that shit better be in there. You know what I mean?
And I know there's a setting in there. I know you guys are probably commenting, be like, well, there's a setting in there you could like...
No SD, but it's like, there's 84 trillion things going on that day. Like,
crazy.
how are we supposed to remember it all?
But it has happened, right?
It has.
Yeah. So that's we're talking about storage.
Wasn't that, well, we are, but wasn't that what happened at the church when we shot that wedding? We're already going into a tangent here. Remember, it was like, you could hear like a pin drop on the floor during the church, and you had to go back in the church and switch an SD card, right? Mm-hmm. And you...
Yeah, is that when it?
You ended up dropping.
Oh, the lens.
The lens. Well, not the whole lens. The lens cap, which is like that the plastic.
Heavy plastic on the back of the lens cap. Yeah,
so this is like a Catholic mass. You know what I mean? So you could hear everything, and you just hear.
Oh, it was quiet. It was quiet,
dude. We all were like.
There was a couple of heads that went like this, you know, and I think I went into that mode where I couldn't stop laughing.
No,
and once I look at you, forget it, man.
The best part was, I don't even have to show it with the camera, but you were like leaning down, and the fact that you just like looked up at me and you were like crying, you were laughing so hard, as I was laughing too, and then, felt like you're back in high school and you're like,
I know, yeah.
To, like,
we do act like children sometimes.
For the father to like,
just
to one of the nuns to beat
for you
us.
brides out there that hire Mark and I, we do act like kids.
Yes,
but we do have a lot of fun.
Well, of course, you have to.
But that is things like that do happen at weddings. It's not like there's no perfect day. Things happen at weddings. I mean, I know we're doing that segue again.
We'll get to storage later.
You know what? I think we should have on this podcast story time.
Story time?
So I got a story.
Is this it? Oh yeah, I'm excited.
You ready for this story?
Ready.
Okay, so sometimes as photographers, you have to go into different modes, right? And you can be a photographer at one point and then a counselor or a therapist in about 20 minutes.
Seconds.
Right? Seconds, right? So I'm shooting this one wedding. It's going back quite a few years ago. And we're about to do a first look. Everybody's ready. Everything's good. I think a bridesmaid came into the bridal suite and said, the cake is delivered. You guys want to go see it? And the bride's like, oh, yeah. Who doesn't want to see their wedding cake for the first time, right?
Want your taste.
So, and if you remember Glenn?
Oh, yeah.
We're going back.
We are.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Glenn was a second shooter that started with me way back when. He was one of my first second shooters. Great guy. Love him. Wow. So he and I go up there. And... if you remember, if you have watched our previous podcast, I was a police officer, detective, prior to getting into weddings, and so we're shooting. We go with the bride upstairs, and the bakery is there, and they're like, hey, we want to show you your beautiful wedding cake. And it took 2 seconds, and the bride just like, and she's looking at a piece of hair.
Oh, no.
It's a big black string of hair.
Oh, it's the brunette.
Right. And I'm thinking to myself,
on a white wedding cake.
Oh, my God, here we go.
It's like...
Now, a couple of things are going through my mind at that point. I'm coming from wedding photographer to police detective to now hostage negotiator. And I'll tell you why. Because she sees the black hair, freaks out, okay? And it's normal, right? Normal. I mean,
that kind of
for some people it's normal, and she just was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! Get this cake out of here! There's hair all over it." It wasn't hair all over it, but there was a nice long string of black hair. So my thing was, "Oh my God, the girl that took this out of the box couldn't see that hair."
Yeah,
like,
was it just clear? Could they? Yeah, she should have.
All you had to do, my man, is just go like this. Nobody would ever known. It would have been done, and that was the end of it, right? But I saw it, we saw it, Glenn saw it, and she saw it, the bride. Yeah. So how the person not taking that cake out, didn't see it, because it could have just been like this. Ooh,
did she have dark hair too, the delivery lady? Maybe it was her? No,
you know what?
It's sealed up.
No, it was. I don't think it came from her. So anyway,
awkward.
She freaks out, runs downstairs, back to the bridal suite. locks herself in the door.
Oh no.
Locks the door behind her inside the bridal suite.
Yeah.
So here's what I do. I tell Glenn, I go, look, take a forensic picture of this cake right now for evidence.
Please,
right?
here's the hair. Yeah.
Take this picture of take the picture of the cake with the hair on it, right?
Yeah.
For documentation later on, in case she has to get reimbursed from the cake company or whatever, the bakery.
Yeah.
And the lady was already saying, look, we're taking this cake back. We'll have it back before the reception. Yeah. There's hours. We're doing a first look. There's hours before that's going to happen. So I go back downstairs. Yeah. Every bridesmaid is cracking up.
Oh no! And
they're laughing like, "Oh, she's just so much, it's too much drama."
Okay, yeah.
I go, where'd she go? Oh, she's inside the bridal suite. She's locked inside this room. She locked herself in the room. So I'm like, Rapunzel. Oh my god, here I go. So I put the camera down, and I'm like, she's like, I'm like, hey, it's me. It's Manny, the photographer. Can I come in?
Yeah.
So she unlocks it, and you can hear it.
Yeah, like
so I go in,
cried a little bit.
and she's just like, I'm so mad. I'm so pissed. There should have been hair on that.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, we're going into negotiations now, right? We're gonna be crisis negotiator right now. So I basically to make a real, it's kind of a long story but short story. I basically get down on one knee and I'm like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. It's just a piece of hair. We documented it already. Glenn took a picture of it.
Right.
We got this whole beautiful day. Let's just move on from this. The cake will be back. They already took it away. It's coming back for the reception. And, I guess
what else can you do?
The groom at that point, somebody must have called the groom because you can hear the bridesmaids outside. They're laughing.
Oh, forget it. They're like, that's
and she's
TMZ.
like, F them. Yeah. They think this is a joke. This is my day. It should have been perfect. Yeah. And I'm like,
Grandma's going to know in like 10 minutes. It's going to spread.
So the groom calls my cell phone. He's like, what's going on? I go, everything's under control. I got it.
We got a 10.
We're coming out soon. We're coming out soon.
Everything's fine.
Code 4 here. So anyway, long story short is yes, we got her calmed down. Yeah. Made her realize that this little piece of hair on the cake, although it was stupid, it could have been done.
Yeah, important, really but can't let it ruin your day. I mean, unfortunately, crazier stuff could happen, right?
Oh yeah, crazy, much crazier stuff. So I know we just got off topic, but I think we should have story time on each podcast.
Story time.
You could share a story with me next time,
or
if you have a short story now.
I could tell you. I did a shoot this week. We could go over that.
Let's talk about it.
All right, let's see. Ironically, I was shooting a podcast, not me.
Oh, I saw that on your Instagram. Yeah,
this
tell me about that.
Kind of interesting, and so I got in with these people doing their video work. For, I guess it's the United Black Agenda. It's this guy, Reverend Eric Dobson, cool guy. And he's like, listen, I have a podcast. I want you to shoot it because they like the video work I did for them and their whole thing they had going on. So I said, yeah, sure, I could do that. Like roles reverse, right?
Yeah, right.
So he's like, okay, great. Well, no pressure, but the first podcast is going to be the Attorney General of New Jersey. Ooh. And I was like, not to get into politics, whatever, but it was just like, oh, okay, oh, that's the first one? It ain't like Susie Q or just like somebody, I don't know. It's like
some nobody.
Yeah, it's like
the AG of New Jersey.
It was so funny. Yeah, they're like, AG of New Jersey, no pressure, good luck. I was like, okay. So it was just actually, what was that, yesterday? Might have been yesterday. I don't know, I forget.
I don't think it was yesterday.
Not 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I think so.
How do I know your schedule better than you?
Dude, all the days end in Y. That's all I know. You lose track. You're like, it just ends in Y. That's it. Right, I don't know. Right. I'm not.
So what else with the podcast? So
it was great. It went really well. And you know what? It was kind of interesting because I was able to flip the script and be on the other side to kind of hear what they're talking about. It was very interesting. And now I know why we can end up in that hour zone when we discuss, hey, let's try to keep between a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever.
Tough. It's tough. We have a lot to talk about.
Cruise through. And I was listening. All of a sudden I'm looking at my camera. It's like 53 minutes. Like, whoa. I was like, we were cooking on time. So I was like, it was cool. It was a cool experience. You meet, like you said, you meet anybody along the way. I never expected to meet the Attorney General of New Jersey, but there he was. State police were there. It was cool. I got to talk to them. The one guy in charge, I forget his name, really cool guy. He was like, we were chit-chatting. I heard him listing off places out in Manahawkin or by LBI. I was like, oh, dude, I'm like, I live over there. So he was like, oh, we just chit-chatting about that. Like, you just never know who you meet. You just, all these people from walks of life could have crossed paths, who knows, but here we were.
Was it just you on the shoot? Or
I had AJ. I helped me out. AJ, and I was like, because, when they said good luck, I was like, I might need it. So let's see,
Well, how about you tell us about this? Because when I watched your Instagram story.
Yeah.
Again, when we talk, this is the All in Focus, the creators podcast, right? Yeah. So we're not just talking weddings. We're not just talking photography. We're also talking about videography. And here you are.
Yes.
videotaping a podcast.
Yeah.
Tell me about the lighting setup that you had. That looked pretty interesting.
Well, it was really nice, Gotta get all the good angles. No, I had.
What did you use? I see that you have that softbox that looks like a parachute.
I call that the hot air balloon.
That's
yes, the hot air balloon one. Yeah.
Better,
So that one was kind of cool because it's a little different. Like the ones we're looking at here, you guys can't see, but they're pretty like directional.
Yeah.
This one I feel like
these are typical softbox.
Yeah. And I had one of those too. But what's cool about this is you kind of get like the edges of the light too on their faces. So like. It was a really tight room. This room's way bigger than what we shot. Like it was like tight.
Yeah.
So I had to make it work. I used 3 cameras. I had the lighting. But yeah, I like that one. That little hot air balloon one. It kind of just emphasized a little extra light on the side instead of just direct. You kind of get to see like a little more here. And
was it a 1 light or 2 lights?
I had 2 lights. Only one like that. But I had a 2 light setup. I mean, you really couldn't fit any more in there. But 3 cameras. I mean, it was the Attorney General, Reverend Eric Dobson, me, AJ, the security detail that was there, and I'm just telling you, man, it was like blacked out SUVs and everything. I was like, I'm like, did they like run my thing? They're gonna see that I've been in jail a couple times, but only in Monopoly. I've only been sent to jail in Monopoly. That's it.
And what about audio? How did you record the audio?
I had some lav mics, and then I had some external mics too. Like I got like I want to cover all the ground, so I had like extra mics on the side. I had 1 per camera with a lav, and then I had a backup one too. I just wanted to play it safe, just because again, who it's with, and if I have to combine the audio, if one's better than the other, again, the room wasn't really a podcast room, which kind of made it a little difficult and ironic because as they were talking about
become a podcast room, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, in terms of, so they share an office with I'm going to butcher the name, is it Fair Housing of New Jersey or something like that, along those lines, where it's like, so they share the office there. So it's really, again, not a podcast room where it's like, padded or anything like that, or like no green screens, no lights. Like it really is just a room that they kind of transformed into a podcast room, which will look good. They had like cool bottles like Ming has.
Yeah, he's the man.
Open bars at time. But later, this is a little after hours.
But keep that in mind though, because when we go on location, like I talked about in episode 2, we are going to go to various wedding venues and discuss those particular wedding venues and how we've shot there and what they have to offer for 2025 and some of their trends.
Yeah.
So when we go on location,
I'm excited.
We're going to have to, we're going to do that.
We're
going to have to bring lighting, our mics, and all that stuff.
Right.
But we are going to be coming to you, not live, we're going to record it, but we're going to be coming to you from the venue floors, and hopefully you get a good bird's eye view of what it looks like.
Yeah, show some people and guests the the venue space and everything, which is cool. Again, that's out of the box.
That's a great idea.
But that's all. That's about adapting too, right? I mean, we touched on that last week. Just like you think you have it down pat, and then all of a sudden you go into a room, and like I was going to say before, they're talking about the firemen and the policemen, and what comes rolling up the street is a fire truck. So again, you could hear it clearly. There's no like padding or nothing. Yeah. So, like, we all just kind of looked at each other like, we all know, like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
They couldn't make that up. I said a truck full of cash. They should have been talking about that, and then that rolled up, and I would have.
That reminds me. Didn't that happen to us in Manhattan?
What's that?
We were doing a job together.
Yeah.
It was both photo and video hire, and you were doing video, and it was a seminar. And do you remember Manhattan? Fire trucks happen all the time.
Was this Eska?
I might have been Eska Legal, right?
Eska, and
the fire truck that just like parked outside, basically. It was like the what do you call it? The unstoppable siren. I'm like, okay, you're here. Can we shut the siren off?
Yeah, like you're good. You're done. Shut it. Like what is it, John Taffer? Is it John Taffer? Like shut it down.
Yeah,
shut it down. Yeah. Really, please.
This thing kept going and going, and we're recording audio, so we understand and we hear it.
Yeah.
The people in the seminar, they're just used to it because it's Manhattan.
Yeah.
But we're like, is this thing gonna stop?
Yeah, or like a baby crying at a wedding, right? It's the same pitch. You're like, oh, please.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, so anyway, that
sounds like a good week that you had there.
Closing the book on my
closing it. That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, good.
Yeah, the rest I just watch paint dry.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow I'm heading back to Manhattan. Got a Getty shoot at the Lincoln Center. That should be fun. And then I have something scheduled for next week. And Sunday, I have a maternity announcement.
Ooh.
So
this is like the pre-announcement, guys.
Yeah, this is they want to announce that they're having a newborn, and we're gonna take some fun pictures at a local park, and then at 5:00 on Sunday we're doing a really cool re-wedding shoot, but they've already been married. I shot their wedding, but they didn't get an engagement shoot, so they wanted to do something afterwards where they first met, which was at Longstreet Farm in Homedale Park.
Cool.
So that's gonna be really fun. She's putting her dress back on, he's putting his suit back on, and we have the whole park closed from 4 to 5.
That's really cool.
So yeah,
I kind of like that recreation thing.
Yeah, it's gonna
That's
be really
not a
neat.
bad idea.
Yeah,
like hey,
that's
get
where
back
they
in
met.
The dress,
you know,
back in the suit,
and that's where they
Why
met.
not?
So it means a lot to them. You know.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be cool. It's very, it's farm, it's rustic. It should be pretty cool.
Very neat. Yeah, can we post it? I'm sure I'll see it on your story. But...
That's why I got the Ray-Ban Meta glasses here, brother.
Sponsored by Ray-Ban.
Don't say sponsored.
Oh, no.
We're not sponsored by anybody yet.
Not sponsored by anybody. But if you'd like to be sponsored,
If we like
fill out our form.
they are mine. I bought it myself. I love
fill
them.
out our form. There's some crayons over there.
If you are a photographer or you just want to have fun with these glasses, these are the Ray-Ban Metas. These are like unbelievable.
So cool.
They're the Wayfarers.
Yeah.
And they're transitional.
Yep.
And they record video, they record stills.
Yeah.
You can listen to your Spotify. You can do like anything on it. You can even translate different languages now. The apps on this thing is incredible.
This thing is cool. I feel like, first of all, we're on QVC right now. This is it.
Right.
Folks, the Ray-Ban Metas, it's only going for $29.95.
And the case comes with it.
Plus shipping and handling. But Act Now will take 50% off. Right?
And for a second pair.
Right. Now let's get the bottles out of here.
Right.
Let's put the glasses on. Those are cool. Wait, let me see them on you. You want to put them on? Put them on.
Yeah,
Put 'em
then
on.
it's going to connect to my
Show the
smartphone.
people. Oh, is it?
You know,
it's going to be like, what's
Right.
your password?
Okay.
Oh.
I look like a little like nerdy, but
No.
see now just.
But you know who
connected.
you look like, though, right? I heard it.
Watch this. Watch this. Hey Meta, take a picture. There it is. See, it just took
heard
a
it.
picture.
It was like,
You heard
ding,
it?
Yeah. Right? Surrounds
Do we have
That's
that
pretty
down?
cool.
We have to
right?
record
I
that.
think that, yeah, right?
Ding.
Yeah. Hey, that should be the sound, right?
But I do love them.
They are really
I
cool.
wear them on the subways now instead of my earbuds. I listen to my Spotify on it. The sound is absolutely incredible.
Doesn't it do a feature?
And it has AI on it too.
Well,
which is
right.
great.
That's what I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure you mentioned last time.
Meta AI.
Yeah, you're like, hey, what am I looking at? And it's like, two handsome gentlemen right there on the screen.
That
but,
is
you know,
true.
yeah.
Yes.
But
yes.
that's pretty neat. I like that.
No, you could
It'll
say
tell
like
you what it's very detailed.
if you go to a parking garage, how many times do you want to be like, where did I park? And you just say, hey Meta, remember where I parked. And but you have to be looking at like the floor.
Yeah, but at least it'll kind of give you an idea.
Has a bank of memories and stuff like that. And then when you want to recall it later, you just say, "Hey, Meta, recall what I wanted in memory." It's crazy.
This is a perfect segue to what we're going to talk about today. Is there storage on there?
There is, but I'm ashamed to say I don't know how much.
Oh.
But I
That's
do
all right.
I do know that it goes to my phone and
okay, maybe.
and it holds a lot. I mean, I take a lot of videos in the city, a lot of BTS
So you
stuff.
play pickleball with it.
Oh yeah, dude, it was great.
Yeah.
I asked the guys, like, hey, you guys mind if I record some, BTS?
Yeah.
They're like, no, with what? I'm like, these glasses. They're like, what?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty
but how
cool.
cool was it, right?
Very cool.
Yeah,
and
very
clean
neat.
too. Like,
Yeah.
and you're moving around, but it's very steady.
No, it's very steady. It's clear.
Very
They're awesome. They're about, I think that the transition's like $400, and then the regular glasses are like $3 something. But I
cool.
tell you, I love them.
These are the transitions?
Those are
I
transitions.
like that. So it
yeah.
like means if it's sunny, they get dark.
Yeah. So Derek has the ones that are the shades,
Mm.
but he's like, if I'm sitting there indoors one day, I look like that guy wearing sunglasses indoors.
Inside,
I'm like,
yeah.
I got you. So all right, let's get into all right.
Do
So
it.
you're
Some storage.
so you're that photographer, videographer. You're maybe just starting out, or you haven't. You're a seasoned vet, and you want to know, what do I do with my photos? How do I get them to clients? How do I share them? And how do I hold on to them for years? Right. So
Yeah.
for me, I've been shooting, like I said, since I shot my first wedding in probably 2008, 2009, right around that time.
Yeah.
And my first wedding is still on the hosting site that I use, which is called Zenfolio.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You've
Cool.
heard of Zenfolio,
Yeah.
right? So
I
Zenfolio,
didn't know you had it that long.
oh yeah,
Wow.
Zenfolio's been around for a while. So
cool.
I host my images on there, all my galleries. I email those to my clients. Now, if I'm doing a quick shoot and it's maybe 50 to 60 images, I'll just use WeTransfer. That's what I use. A lot of people use Dropbox or something else.
Yeah.
I find WeTransfer, it's free up to 2 gigs. Anything after that is the paid one.
Right.
But I find it so easy.
Yeah.
And I know you use something different. So
Yeah,
what
I
do you
use. So I've I've jumped around a lot. I mean, so again, to your question, like whether you're just starting out, everything was on like Google Drive and all
Yep.
that. hey, it's free. Why not? You know, like up to 15 gigs. And then eventually I switched to, I think I did Dubsado for like 5 minutes.
Heard of that one?
Dubsado. It's kind of like Pixieset, which was what I use now, and which is cool because that's like a one-stop shop. That hosts your invoices, your contracts, all your templates, questionnaires, forms, down to your website, hosts your website, and then it also hosts your online galleries. Probably similar to yours. I've seen yours on. Was it Zenfolio? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. Where
funny,
you can
I don't have
host all that. All the images, yeah.
Just to say, like you said, you can host and have a website. Zenfolio can do both. You can have galleries and you can have a website.
Yeah.
I used, I think, a SmugMug. No,
oh, yeah. Joe
SmugMug?
uses that.
Yeah, for the website,
Say
right?
cheese. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Joe's
So
all our tech stuff.
That's where my website is. I probably should all put it together, but you use something else for your website, right?
Pixie
Pixie
Set.
Set.
All
It's
across
all
the
in one.
board. Yeah, it makes it so much
And
easier.
your contracts too, right?
Whole thing, which is clean. I kind of like that. So and what's cool about that is it's like one-stop shop. You get all your stuff. The only thing I don't think it like you can post your albums on there, but I don't use it for like storage. I don't think you could store photos on there, believe it or not. And I don't know if they still do this. I'm pretty sure Amazon gives you like a ton of free photo storage, very similar to like a Google Drive or just hey, like it's like a cloud service.
I didn't even know that.
So I use pCloud for that. Another Joe recommendation. Joe gives us all like the tech stuff. I wake up in the morning,
He's great.
make a coffee, I open my phone. He's like, check this stuff out. I'm like, oh man, you're gonna make me buy something. Which was pCloud. So what's cool about pCloud is this: you pay once, and you have it for life. And I think their servers are stored in Europe, and they have like stricter like laws in terms of like who can like look at your stuff on the
So you
back
don't have
end.
an annual subscription?
Nope, I paid for it once. And it's like I'm
There
like,
you go,
that,
folks.
dude.
I am now going to switch it.
Yeah, right. Like I mean,
every
Google's
year
like every month. Why do you want to pay per month?
Zenfolio has an annual membership that you got to pay for.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think so. Pixieset does charge you annually, but pCloud you just pay once, and it just you could keep all your stuff in the cloud. It's pretty efficient and clean. The website,
And it's free up to how? Like, is there a certain limit?
do whatever you want. I mean,
Is there a limit? Like,
no, not that I'm aware of. I mean,
that's really
I've seen them say like, hey, you want 10
Pixieset here?
So they'll be like, well, this is pCloud, and they'll tell you, hey, do you want like 10 terabytes? So what I do think is that I don't want to say this is where they get you, but it's like I think if you buy the largest amount of storage from the get-go, it's cheaper. What happens is and I bought like probably like 2 or 3 times. So I bought the first time and then I bought like another like 500 gigs or another terabyte or something if they're having a sale. But I think your first purchase is your best bet to go big. So I wish I did it all in one shot, even though it's still great. I don't care. Like I'm happy with it. For like 3 years I didn't pay. Then I paid a little bit more and still, get what now? Like I think I have up to like 5 terabytes.
Did you ever use anything prior to that, like Flickr or any of those other ones?
Just
for
like
your
Google
sharing?
Drive, and it just kind of, no offense, sucked. Like
Google Drive,
issues.
I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, like everybody's like, I didn't get it. I can't see it. I won't
That's me.
download. Like
all the time. Or with Google Drive, I find that if somebody shares images with you and they know it's going to you got to like request permission.
yeah, I hate that.
I hate that.
I had somebody like, did you get it yet? Did you get it? I'm like, I finally get a chance to look at it. I go to click it. You need permission.
You
I'm
need
like,
permission. I don't get that.
okay, like Fort Knox. Like it's just pictures. But it was just annoying. So I switched to pCloud. Love that. I kind of send, like to your point, that's where I send most of my flow of pictures to, like, real estate shoots and all this. Yeah. Only for like a wedding or something like dramatic will I put it on Pixieset because that's like an online gallery. It's pretty. It's like what you use. You could see, you could organize your what is it, like your formals from the ceremony, from the reception. Yeah, it's just clean, Yeah. But that's a good like pCloud is a good like end game spot if you want to put stuff on the cloud. Unless you have like those like drives at home, those big drives that sit on your table or whatever.
We'll get into the drives in a minute, but I want to touch on what you just talked about with the gallery. So for me, for weddings, and I like everything in organized. Yeah. Maybe it's an ex-military thing, but I do like everything
100%.
organized because I know a lot of photographers out there that'll supply their clients with a USB at the end of the day, or used to be CDs, but we won't go back that far.
I had CDs. I did CDs. I played around with those. We're like, hold on, it's downloading your compact disc.
We won't talk about floppy disks, all right? We won't go that far.
Windows 95. Sorry.
If you talk about, I remember when I got my wedding stuff back, I had a USB that was like probably half an inch.
Oh wow!
I'm like, how much storage? Like, what is this?
Yeah,
I don't even know where it is because they're so small, you lose it.
Yeah, it's like a chiclet gum or something.
It's
Yeah, remember that
it was
too?
basically the size of like a chiclet,
Yeah.
100%. So
Right, come on.
for me, Zenfolio allows me to break down each segment of the day, especially
Yeah.
for a wedding. So if it's an engagement shoot, it's just,
Yeah.
the couple's name, the date, the location, and engagement shoot. Boom.
Yeah.
And there's maybe, however many photos, 200-300 photos, and they get the link.
Sure.
For a wedding, there's so many different aspects of the day. So I have it details, which would be your weddings, rings, your shoes, the dresses, the cake, anything that's detail oriented.
No hair in the cake.
Related, rather. What's that? No hair in the cake. Then I go to the getting ready.
Yeah.
Right. And now the next one could be a bunch of different things. It could be the ceremony, or it could be, first look.
Yeah.
Right. So depending on, what's going on that day.
Yeah.
But I have each part of that wedding day broken down into these little mini galleries.
But I like
So
that.
you can bounce out of one, go into the other. So if you get after your wedding, one of your family friends or guests says, "Hey, look, your photographer took our formal photo outside the main doors during the reception. Can you send us that photo?"
Right.
Your couple can go right into the reception folder, find that photo,
Easy.
and send it to them instead of going through plug it in
it's
USB.
Hold on,
going through,
image number.
right, they're scrolling through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. We shoot over 1,000 photos. That's what we deliver our clients.
Yeah.
And they're looking for that one photo.
Yeah.
Now you can just go right to it.
So it's cleaner, it's more efficient.
Absolutely.
You can get through it quicker. And you're right, too. I could do that on Pixieset. There's options to share and like social media or to friends. And you could even do prints, too.
Oh, yeah,
So
you can
do,
print off of it. Yep.
Freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like one-stop shop. I mean, it's third party. I don't know. I guess there's they use companies or whoever it is. I'm not really too sure. But I think that's pretty cool, though, that, clients have this option to keep it all in one house. Now, when you do say you're doing the engagement shoot and a year later is the wedding, can you add their engagement gallery to that?
100%.
You could just almost
Yep,
tab it
just
over and
move it
say,
right over.
all right, here's this and that.
Yeah, and that happens a lot, too.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I don't normally do that.
Right.
Because it's never been I don't think, that's a great, I like what you just said. Maybe I'll start doing that. But if I did the engagement shoot a year prior, they pretty much get their own separate gallery.
Yeah.
And, all those pictures are what you see, in the main hall
fun
at the wedding venue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yes, could I easily move that to that? You can.
I like
yeah,
that.
It's that easy.
Super efficient.
But they have, I
simple.
figured, why add more photos? they have a
true.
ton to look
Yeah,
at
it's
anyway on the day of
here's
the
a little
wedding.
more.
Yeah, here's some more for you. Plus the second shooter, images go on there too,
yeah.
and there's a lot of images on the the final edit for you guys to look at. So
Yeah.
we
That's
don't
all the work that goes
Yeah,
in, dude.
it's
That's
a
all the
lot of
back end work. We're
Yep.
running on A anymore.
So you definitely need a reliable, place to share and
Yeah.
host your wedding. Not wedding. I keep saying wedding because we're so focused on weddings.
I know.
But your digital images to show your clients.
Yeah,
right?
but again, but even though, I think I know why you said wedding, and it's because you probably reserve those albums or those styles for that
90
versus
95%
but your real
of
estate
weddings.
stuff you're not putting through
Nope.
there, right? Yeah, that's just
That's
direct
all
WeTransfer.
WeTransfer.
Yeah,
Yep.
so your WeTransfer is my P-Cloud essentially, where I keep the
I'm
photo,
glad you
send
said
it
that.
out, and then you're pretty organized is your Zenfolio, my
Correct.
Pixieset.
Right, because again, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they're, when the couple sits down to look at their wedding photos, they have this nice gallery. They can go through them together. You can throw them up on a slideshow. You
Yeah,
can link it to
slideshow.
your big screen TV. But if a realtor calls up and she's got to get this house out, and there's only maybe 35 photos of the house,
Right.
WeTransfer.
Yeah.
She gets them, downloads them. They're up on the
Right.
on the MLS and they're
Easy.
ready to go.
Easy breezy. Cool. All about efficiency, man. And again, you want to talk about storage, man. You can get into, you go online, you'd be like, oh, let me pick up this SD card. It's $20. Let me pick up this same 64, 128 gig, whatever SD card. Why is this one $60?
Yeah.
Your speeds, dude.
speed, yeah.
Efficiency, speeds.
Especially for video too, right?
Oh, yeah. Certain features on the camera, you can't use without a higher end SD card. It'll tell you, your SD card ain't it. You know what I mean? You got to get a better, faster one, read-write speeds and everything. But yeah, those are really important. Again, shout out for Joe, man. He's always sending me the top of the line stuff. He sent me the link. He's like, this SD card is half off right now. He goes, it's really fast. You should look into it. He has the CF cards. How do you feel about the CF cards? I mean, I know we're getting like really detailed right now, but
Most
like
cameras now, the mirrorless ones aren't using this. They're using that other
CF,
card,
the
smaller,
Express is what I'm
CF
talking.
Express,
Yeah, that's what I
right,
meant
yeah.
to say. Yeah. I know those other ones are huge.
They're very expensive,
They are, but they're fast.
but they're fast. I still use SD.
Same.
and
I do too.
Occasional Getty stuff, I will use the CF Express.
Oh, you do?
Most of the editors are all set up for it,
Really?
but 90% of the time, I'm still using SD. They work fine.
Yeah.
You know,
So the other guys you said do.
some of them do.
Yeah, Joe uses it, and I was like, it is really fast. But I'm the type of guy that I just like, and then I'm like, now I need an adapter. My camera takes it, but then I'd have to plug the camera into the laptop, or I have to get an adapter for. I don't know. Is it the end of the world? No.
They are faster, especially when you're on red carpet and you're shooting,
Stupid
in
fast.
burst.
Yeah.
Because in red carpet photography, you're getting a nice headshot, a 3/4 shot, and a full length, and you really only have a half a second maybe to do it before that talent and the celebrity, whoever you're shooting, is off to the next photographer.
Right.
They're looking at you, and you got to be like,
Yep.
just get it, nail it in one shot.
Full auto, baby.
And they're off. They're down the line. So the CF Express card probably helps with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there are guys using it.
Yeah, no, it is cool. So, it all depends on, I guess, your cup of tea, right? If you care about it, if not, like, I have some fast SD cards. I like it. It's what I use. But yeah, really though, it's, so say you just shot an event, right? You take your SD card. First thing you do is you put your thing in, pull the project up, back it up, whatever you got to do. But then it's like, this is what I personally do. I like triple back up my stuff because you have to. Have you ever like ran into the situation? Listen, like knock on wood here, like you never want to run into the situation where you only have your, SD card and you lost SD card. Well, and now you don't have the project backed up or like, what are you going to do? And I keep my SD card. So I'll do a project, put it back in a little container, put a little sticky note on it, say the name of the couple or the event or whatever. It's like, all right, Swagger and Blade, whatever. Put that away. And I don't delete or format that card until the project's done.
Oh, 100%.
Because one time I shot a job and when
we're now going from hosting to storing.
Storying? Storying.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it really does go hand in hand, right? Like,
well, I'm saying there's hosting websites.
Oh yeah.
And now we're getting into
more storage. Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Hosting versus storing, right? The hosting is like what you're going to give
the final product,
your client so they can see it.
Yeah.
And now storing is your digital imagery and or video content. Where am I putting that? How am I backing that up?
Yeah.
Now we can get into that and talk about like, what do you have right here?
This?
What is it?
This is my vape. No, I'm just kidding. No,
you don't vape.
I don't vape. No, this is my little NVMe storage. It's like 4 terabytes, man. It's got my projects on it.
4 terabytes.
4 terabytes.
Right. That's
and
incredible.
One vape. All in one vape. How do you do it? No.
One vape.
No, it looks like one though, right? Or a big USB.
Look at the size. Here's your business card.
Here, show 'em.
Look at this thing.
Here's the business card.
That's really 4 terabyte?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wild, man. Like the technology.
You guys remember when it was like 512 gigabyte hard drives?
People thought they were cool with like, what,
right?
here's my
512 megabytes. That's what it was, not gigabytes. Yeah.
It's crazy though how it's evolved. Like, now they have terabyte SD cards and stuff. It's like, calm down. But
that's really cool.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is
do you back up right to that?
So this is the way I have it set up is I have my working drive. So I have 2 of these. I have one and the one that mirrors it. So if I'm working on a project that's not done yet, I'll have like a second one of these, same thing mirrored. Mm-hmm. When I finish a project, I back it up to a NAS. It's like network attached storage. So it's like a smart hard drive. If you just back up to a hard drive, they call it like a dumb drive. It just is like it's there sitting on your thing, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a drive you back stuff up to. That's it. What's cool about the NAS is I can go on my computer and I can access it from anywhere as long as I have internet. So I could pull up stuff. Like a server. It's almost like a server. I can pull up stuff at my house or like store it on that thing. So that's where I back up. Like that's the final destination for my product packages, whatever. Now
at home,
storage.
do you have like for me? I have quite a few hard drives that I've used over the years, and they're just sitting there with tons of content on them.
Yeah.
But then when I get home from a job, those SD cards and everything are all getting backed up.
Yeah.
Onto external drives.
Yeah, that's like this. This is like, an external drive. Yeah. So
if you're using external drives, if you're not familiar with external drives, you can go anywhere on Amazon, Best Buy, Target. You want to not really bog down your computer's hard drive so much.
No,
right?
yeah.
You want to leave everything external. Put
That's
all your
what I've
stuff
learned, yeah.
externally. Yeah.
Completely. Again, and you can't, like, if you can't bring this with you, you like, you know what I mean? You can just plug it in.
That's
it's right
amazing.
there. Yeah, it's so tight. Feel it. It's very light.
It's incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool, huh? But so I specifically use the NVMe drive just because they're faster. It's better for me for video. Then you have like your like spinny drives, your HDD, and then you have like SSD, which is kind of similar to this. They're a little bit faster. They all range in price. I mean, like the spinny drives are the cheapest. They're slower. And then this is like the fastest. But yeah, man, it is crucial to always back up your projects, your working projects, like. Even, I mean, I had an issue once where my adapter that I used to plug in the SD card, remember when Apple got really cheap and they're like, we're not going to have any sort of adapters. It's just this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man. So I had to get an adapter to read my SD card because I couldn't just put the SD card in the damn computer. So turns out the adapter I had was messed up and it like butchered my footage. Like, this was like, I mean, the shit hit the fan. Like, it was bad. Like, let's call it what it is.
That's not good.
So I was like, I didn't realize. So in my head, I backed up the project. It's on a hard drive. I took the SD card and I formatted it. I was like, I don't need this anymore. Well, I didn't know that footage was compromised. So I was like, I mean, and that's an act of God. Like, that's one of those, like, it's in the contract that if it's beyond me, like, it's not like I'm sitting here with a hammer, hitting it and saying, oh, what happened? But
Yeah.
it was like, I felt like I wanted to hit with my head. I was like, what the hell, man? Like, it was scary.
Wow.
So again, always just keep a backup of your project. Always make sure you have a plan B. And once you're completely done with the project, give it to a final hard drive, final destination. I duplicate my final destinations just like I duplicate my working hard drives.
So let me ask you, so you get done with an event. Let's just for somebody that doesn't know, they have a camera, they have a card in there, regardless if it's a CF, SD. They get done with it. They get done with a shoot. They get done with a video, content, whatever they're doing. What do you suggest, like, when they get home? Or do it right then and there with something portable, or do you like what do you like to do?
Realistically, I like to do it right, and I want to just, again, after like whatever wisdom I can share from however long that I've been doing this, however long you've been doing it, you want to it's just better off to do it right the first time. So I'll grab this, plug in the SD card, get the footage, and then put it right to this directly. And I'm just like, I won't maybe organize it as much as I would before I get ready. And I mean, you're talking like midnight, 1 o'clock, sometimes you get home, it's late. I just want to take everything and dump it. My audio, everything. Just put it on my, client's folder name, throw everything in there, and then try to go to bed. But then eventually I'll organize it.
Now there will be some times where you're shooting an event. You might be shooting an event somewhere that takes an hour to get home, maybe. And yes, you're human, you're exhausted. What my suggestion would be is to just either leave everything as it is until the morning.
That's one thing.
Because what happens is if you start taking these SD cards out and you go to bed and you're like, wake up, maybe you're groggy, whatever the case may be, you don't know what you might not remember which SD card was what, and you never want to format anything. I would either just leave everything alone or
correct
do it.
Yeah. Because if you don't,
just leave the bag there and go to bed, and you remember exactly where everything is.
Because if you don't do it,
you didn't do it.
Don't do it.
That's an inside joke there.
It is.
So again, when we break out into our next episode, I think what we can also talk about is, now that we've kind of given you guys an idea of some of the places where you can share your images. Like I said, we talked about even a free website of Wix, W-I-X. So you can go on to Wix and build a website for free. I believe it doesn't cost you anything. You have to be able to show your clients or future clients images, right? So how do you do that? So you get a website, put some pictures up on Facebook, get an Instagram account, put them on there. Yeah. There's a ton of ways you could do. We went over quite a few. Yeah. The hosting versus sharing, storing rather, hosting versus storing, what you can do. There's so many external hard drives out there you can get. There's clouds, the Adobe Creative Cloud. Yep. And you can look into various ways of storing your images, however it works for you, because there's so many. Right?
But it is crucial, and I'm telling you, if you're starting out, be smart. Like, you might think like, oh, like, I don't need to, like, you'll find yourself in like these pickles you don't want to be in, and you'll be like, well, I've heard these stories, but like eventually it happens to you. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're proactive, great. Back up your stuff. we said how to do that, what we recommend, what we do, or not even what we recommend, just what we do, what our flow is, and it works for us.
Yeah.
And then, once you're done, you back it up, and then in terms of, uploading it, where do you upload it? How do you want to share it? Like, what's most efficient for you? And it's crucial to just keep your flow going. Plus, when you have that, like, to go back really quick, when you have that flashy, like, album, people love that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the new photo album. That is the new digital, our parents had, like, the albums sitting on the coffee table. Right. Like, this is their digital album, and it's nice. When you scroll through, it's set up, you can pick the colors and everything. Like, it's really cool, and I think they appreciate that. So
you're talking about the online gallery.
Yeah, like that. I mean, even down to
there is an actual tangible album that you can make your photos.
No, you can make
storybooks, photo books. There's all kinds of.
I feel like I haven't seen people do that as much. I mean, so, but like, I'm telling you, man, so to have that online gallery is like, it's like just the digital replacement. You know what I mean? Like,
it's really
digital version, I should say. But it's cool, man.
Good. So I think moving forward on our next episode, I think we should kind of now get into maybe some editing software.
Yeah.
We can get into a little bit of hands-on on how we shoot certain things.
Yeah.
And I also want to get some interaction, through our subscribers. If you're new or if you're seasoned and you want to talk about something, we're absolutely, welcome to any comments.
Yeah. Any questions, comments, concerns, fine print?
And last episode, we talked about social content creation, right?
We did. We mentioned that. Yeah.
So do you remember a young lady that we met at a wedding, and they weren't hiring a videographer?
Correct.
So I said, okay, no problem. Fine. Mark, you'll be my second shooter.
Yeah.
Right? And we got to the wedding venue, and there was this young lady, and she was their social content creator.
So cool. She was really cool.
Amazing person. She was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, friendly, helpful. She set up a lot of cool shots that we were just like, we're good.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Right. So I think next week, for our next episode, we will have on Lisa.
Yes.
From Big Day BTS.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
She is a social content creator. She's been doing it for about 4 years. And I talked to her yesterday about it. And we had a really, really good conversation. She's excited to come on here and talk about what she does.
Yeah.
She also likes the idea that me being, somewhat seasoned in the wedding business, to be able to accept her.
And not like a newbie moving in, like a third.
Like, who is this person with this social content? What is she doing?
Which that's blown up, by the way.
It is blowing up.
I just did that wedding expo, and it was like content creation. I'm like, oh, wow. Like, this is gaining traction. And I'm sure she'll explain the uptick in that.
Yeah, we discussed, I think, a little bit about how she's going to, kind of segue into how she got into it.
Yeah.
How long she's been doing it. She didn't just get into, weddings. She was doing a lot of other things, and a lot of behind the scenes for photographers and for videographers like us.
Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand.
And she was really great to work with. So I can't say anything bad about it. The day was great. She was awesome.
Yeah.
And Lisa will be on here on our next episode.
Cool. So looking forward to it.
Stand by for that.
Haven't seen her in a minute. Lisa.
Yeah. Lisa. Cool. Big Day BTS. Big shout out.
Looking forward to it.
All in Focus, the Creators Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode. See ya.
See you next time.